Okay, so I feel like the lighting is kind of weird. Whatever. So this is the second part of the video convincing you to read books I loved, like my favorite books with a quote. So if you haven't watched the first part, maybe you should go watch it because this was like filmed together, but it was so long I had to cut it. So maybe go back and watch that one so you get the context. And I don't know, I hope you enjoy the second part. I think I'm gonna talk about six more books, yeah, starting with Normal People. So yeah, Normal People. So this is hated a lot, and I know it's famous, so I will not talk a lot about it. It's written like I was dubious too about the writing, like the weight, like the format, but I enjoyed it and I loved it. Even though it's a 4.7, I give it 5 in Goodreads because I think it needs to be like it only has 3.80 something, and I was like, no, it deserves more. So yeah, that's me. I relate a lot to the main characters, especially Marianne. And there's a quote. She says, "I don't know what's wrong with me," says Marianne. "I don't know why I can be like normal people." And the first time I read that, I don't want to cry again. So I'm trying to. The first time I read that, I cried. It made me cry in the context and the quote in general. I don't know why. I'm about to cry again. Can you see my eyes? So yeah, I really love that quote. And most people know it's about relationships and it's about miscommunication and it's about growing up and like it's so many like mental health. We've touched so many topics, obviously trigger warnings because it's adult. Daisy Jones is also adult, and if we were villains and vicious, all of that adult. Yeah, this one is adult too, and I enjoy it a lot. Enjoyed it. It's contemporary, I think. Yeah, yeah, it's contemporary. Why am I doubting myself? And I don't want to cry, so I'm gonna jump over that book. But it's fucking amazing, and I'm currently watching like the show they released. It only has 12 episodes, and I'm like in the episode 6, and I am enjoying it a lot. So you can go and read it if you feel like you will like it. I haven't read any other books by the author Sally Rooney, but I planned on, and I don't have a physical copy yet, but I want one. So yeah. Then we have The Night Circus. I read it in, I think it was October. Yeah, in the middle of October, I read The Night Circus. And I have one quote. This is one of those books like Piranesi that you cannot know anything. Like you go blindly into the book. You'll take me, maybe, maybe not. I don't know. And it says, "They are a bunch of fish covered in feathers trying to convince the public that they can fly. They can fly. And I am simply a bird in their midst." So we have a love story, we have magic, we have fantasy, we have drama, we have everything. And people say like it's plotless. It is basically plotless. It's basically vibes, but if you enjoy vibes, you're gonna enjoy that book. I haven't read The Starless Sea, but it's on my TBR, so I cannot wait. Like my immediate TBR, so I cannot wait to pick it up. So yeah, that's The Night Circus. If the title didn't give anything away, it's a circus in the night. Oh my god, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. Like I saw it in my brain like a movie. That deserves a movie, and it's so magical and whimsical. And we do get like dark moments, but it's amazing. It's adult too, in case I didn't say it. So yeah. Okay, so we are back to YA because we haven't talked about YA in a long time. So the next YA I'm gonna talk about, I have physical copies. This is the first series I completed. Okay, back to YA. This Violent Delights, and this is my top one. This one, it's my top one from last year. So this Violent Delights, If We Were Villains, Daisy Jones, those three. But this one, yo, oh my god, I cannot begin to tell you. Oh, yeah. I know. So we gotta do this fast because I don't want to have 30 minutes of footage. I'm gonna have 30 minutes of footage. Whatever. These Violent Lights, retelling Romeo and Juliet, YA, fantasy, amazing, amazing. It's finished. Like, we have a second book. The author, debut. How do you say it? Yeah. Chloe Gong. She's an icon. She's the moment. And a quote: "This is what this city did to lovers. It tossed blame around like a slick coat of blood, mixing and merging with everything else until it had left its stain." I loved it. I cried. I enjoyed it. And I love Romeo and Juliet, if you didn't know. So yeah, a lot of Shakespeare up here. I know. Yeah. We have The Gilded Wolves. That's a trilogy. I read the first and second book like in May, I think. But the last book I read it in October, my first book of October. I even got a physical copy. I love to do this. You cannot see it well, but it's, yeah. And I like the second book the most. It's super short. Also YA, fantasy. And the second book was the best one, I think. I didn't like the ending so much, but it was worth it because the first two books were amazing. The third one was okay. I even annotated it, so you can see. I did annotate it. I didn't like it a lot, but I did enjoy it, seeing my favorite characters back. And it's like a lot of puzzles, and we get like heist, and it's found family, and it's amazing. That boy looks like every dark corner of a fairy tale. The wolf in bed, the apple in the witch's palm. I don't know. I feel like everyone should read The Gilded Wolves. Okay. Then I have 2 more books to go, and I think I'm gonna make it. I have Chain of Gold and Chain of Iron because I have to mention Shadowhunters, and I know they're big. I know. So this one especially, like, I love this one. Oh my god, it's so fucking sick. Did I read that? And it's annotated, obviously, like. Yeah, so I did enjoy this one more. And Chain of Gold is basically one of the books from the Shadowhunter Chronicles. And so I will make a video talking about all the Shadowhunter Chronicles, I think all of these ones, because I read them all. But Chain of Gold, it's one of his best books from the author. So, and also the Infernal Devices, who goes before this one. And I cannot tell you about it because it's full of spoilers, obviously, like the plot. But it follows a second generation technically, like the descendants of the characters from the Infernal Devices. That's all I'm gonna say. Quote I have: "We don't always love people who deserve it." And that quote reminds me of in the Infernal Devices when Sophie says, like, it's all right to love someone who doesn't love you back as long as they're worth you loving them, as long as they deserve it. So the last book I'm going to talk about is a recent read, and I don't have the book, but I do have another book from the author. I have the Atlas 6 from the author, Olivia Blake, but the book I read, I'm going to sneeze again. Back. The other book I'm going to talk about is not the Atlas 6, so I'm sorry. I did love it, 5-star. I got a physical copy. That's it. So yeah. But the book I'm gonna talk about, it's called Alone with You in the Ether, and it's, ignore that, and it's basically, we have like, it's not a romance, but we do get a love story in the book, and it's amazing. And I went in blindly, and I'm thankful for that, because one of the main characters, it's even from my country, like his mom, so I was crying. And that surprised me. So yeah, I just recommend going to it blindly. It has like romance, and we get like, it's like a contemporary book, but written by a fantasy author. So you get like that fantasy, but it's not fantasy, but it's like you feel the fantasy. You know what I mean? It's so magical, even though it doesn't have magic. So yeah. Along with You in the Ether, we have Can You Love My Brain Even When it's small, when it's malevolent, when it is violent? Can you love it even when it does not love me? And yeah, we follow Aldo and Regan, and we follow them through. It's similar to normal people, I say, like in the ups and downs of a relationship, but how they meet each other and all that stuff, it's not normal. And I feel like everyone should read it because it is not famous enough, and it deserves so much love, just like the Atlas 6. And it's like proof that the author is such a great author. It's amazing, and it's a great book. Yeah, and those are all the books I have to talk about. I will see you on my next video, and yeah, hope you enjoyed this one and go read the books.